State your name, please, and give us your testimony.
Madam Chair and members of the committee, my name is Jonathan Saenz, and I'm president and attorney for Texas Values, and I'm testifying tonight in support of Senate Bill 15 by Senator Middleton. As a licensed attorney in the state of Texas for almost 20 years, I know how important the law is. I know the impact that it can have when it's clear in our state law, particularly when we know that there's an identifiable problem that's before us. That's so much a part of what this body does. This legislature is about finding solutions to legitimate problems, and the case has been made strongly that a problem exists. I also know, and I was taught in law school, that the law is a teacher. What we have in the law says something about who we are as a body of people, a country, and a state. I also know that it matters what the law says. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Let me be very clear. Title IX does not include discrimination protection for sexual orientation and gender identity. Title VII has been ruled by the U.S. Supreme Court to include those things in the definition of sex, but that is based on an employment decision out of the U.S. Supreme Court in a case called Bostock. In a recent case came up on this issue here in Texas, the controlling precedent from the North District, where an issue like this came up regarding to whether Title VII was the same as Title IX under these discrimination protections. And Judge Kasmerick made it very clear, reciting the Bostock decision in the majority opinion by Justice Gorsuch, that the only question before the employers in that case was about Title VII, and that we need not worry that they would sweep beyond Title VII and these type of issues. The federal courts and our Congress has not ruled on these issues. They have not changed the law. Title IX does not include these protections, and that's why we can protect and save women's sports. I want to say one last thing, if I may, Madam Chair, and I don't say this often as a lawyer. That's going to keep beeping on me.
Yes, it is.
If I could conclude.
How about, thank you for your testimony, and
thank you so much
let us
for being
ask
here
you
tonight.
a question perhaps at the end.
Yes.
Thank you. Members, are there any questions? I had one. I was very curious about what else you were thinking, Mr. Saenz.
Well, thank you for that courtesy, Madam Chairwoman. Many of the members of the legislature are aware that oftentimes my testimony is focused on my expertise, which is in law and policy, having spent work in this building even as an intern, as a student at the University of Texas, long before I became a licensed attorney. And it's a pleasure to do that, and I appreciate the interactions, whether we agree or disagree over time. And I know, Madam Chair, we typically agree. But this issue is also personal for me. I have a teenage daughter who practices every day in the kitchen, in the living room, wherever she has a little bit of space. And she has made it her dream and a goal that she has now to compete at a collegiate level for dance. She's the youngest of my three. I have two boys who have had quite a bit of competitive sports career before she had her time a little bit in the sun. And her own doing, she did her own research, and she found a university in the state of Texas that many know of and is well known for competitive dance. And it's one of the few places where you can have that and have that type of prominence. And she's made it her goal to do that, to have an opportunity for that. And I've seen even the dance industry starting to move in this direction, where I think you're going to see young ladies lose opportunities and lose the ability to compete on the level playing field. She had her first competition a couple of weeks ago, and she was so excited with the team that she was in to be recognized and to stand on a podium. That's a reality. That is a part of this process, that recognition, that hours of time. And so I'm not only here supporting this Senate Bill 15 as a lawyer, but also as a father who's got a girl that I'm with every day and is a part of my family. and probably one of the best opportunities for her to advance in a college that fits her specific abilities to learn and to become successful is the opportunity that she could have in athletics. And so thank you for letting me share that, and I continue to ask you to support Senate Bill 15.
Well, thank you very much for your testimony and for satisfying my curiosity as well at this late hour tonight. Thank you all for being here and sharing your stories with us. Appreciate it.